Hey, this is Mrs. Warren again. Let's talk about the Compromise of 1850. Now, we've fast forwarded it a little bit. The Missouri Compromise line, which is right here where my cursor is, helped to keep things peaceful between the North and the South for 30 years, but things got a little bit more complicated. We had a Texas, we had the Mexican War, and this Mexican Cession area is the problem. Now, California, because of the gold rush, its population increased so much that it has applied to become a state, not just any state, but a free state. Now, remember, we're trying to keep everything balanced between the free states and the slave states. Unfortunately, there's not a slave state that is ready to become part of the Union, so that would make everything unbalanced. So, in order for the southern states to agree to allow California to become a free state, they want a couple things. First of all, this Utah and New Mexico territory must be open to slavery. In other words, that when this territories or whatever becomes these territories decide to become a state, that they would use popular sovereignty. Now, popular sovereignty, we learned back in the Constitution unit, was about, the power of the people, the power of the vote. Well, that's what it is. So when a state applies to become a state, they're allowed to decide by vote whether or not they become free or slave. So now slavery is open to this territory here. Not only did they want that, but they also wanted a stronger fugitive slave law. The Underground Railroad is very successful right now, and so many slaves are escaping into the North. And there used to be a weaker slave law that said that, these slaves needed to be returned, but they weren't being. So, this opened up the category of those people who harbored, helped any slave that escaped into the North could be subjected to being arrested and then sold back into slavery and returned to their slave owners. Now, this created quite a problem for people in the North, and they didn't want to, help out the Southern slave owners like that. If they were caught, they were subjected to prosecution under the law. They could be in jail for up for just 6 months for helping any slaves. So this really increased the this really increased the abolitionist movement, and things got pretty bad. They were even kidnapping free black men and women and selling them back into slavery as well. There is a movie about that called 12 Years a Slave. It is rated R. Please ask your parents. It's pretty brutal about slavery during this time. Anyway, so that is the Compromise of 1850.